In 2022, China surpassed Germany to become the world's second largest exporter of vehicles. And which Chinese brand exported more cars than any other?
With hands-on test drives and reviews of exciting Chinese market vehicles, Wheelsboy is the #1 source for China auto insights. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. It wasn't BYD, Geely, or one of the startups like Xpeng or NIO. It was Chery. In fact, the company has been China's largest vehicle exporter for the last 20 years in a row. About 1 in 7 vehicles exported from China in 2022 was a Chery.
And about a quarter of those cars was one of these, a Chery Tiggo 7 SUV. That's right, we're going to be filling a major blind spot in the catalog by finally reviewing a Chery.
To be more specific, we've gotten our hands on a Tigo 7 Plus, which is priced at $14,500 to $17,600 US here in China. While this latest model was first sold in the Chinese market, it will soon be sold all over the world, including Indonesia, Brazil, Iran, Australia, and Mexico. In those markets, it's sold as the Tigo 7 Pro.
In theory, this is the most Chinese car that we've ever reviewed, because Chery claims that almost all of it was developed in-house. That means they didn't rely on outside suppliers for things like engines and transmissions. It also means they have no one to blame if those things don't operate as they should. Chery engineers can breathe easy, because I think they did a good job with the 1.6-liter Turbo 4 and 7-speed DCT in this car. Power is adequate for this category, 145 kilowatts or about 197 horsepower. It's not the most refined 4-cylinder I've ever driven. There's some harshness that creeps in over 3,000 RPM, but it's also far from the worst. My praise for the transmission is less reserved. This thing is smooth, both around town and under hard acceleration. That's not something every DCT can say, including some from better-known Chinese manufacturers.
But I have fewer positive notes for the suspension tuning, which feels both floaty and a bit harsh at the same time. I'm not expecting Rolls-Royce comfort from a car this affordable, but I am expecting something better than this. At least the steering is pretty decent.
So the engine and transmission are overall quite good, and the suspension is not so good. But I think a bigger factor when it comes to Chery's sales success has to be price and features.
In market after market, Chinese cars have debuted and undercut their rivals on price. That's true in their home market as well. This top-spec Tigo 7 Plus costs $17,600 USD, but comes with adaptive cruise control, heated and cooled front seats, dual 12.3-inch screens, an 8-speaker Sony sound system, and an interior fragrance dispenser.
Prices and features will obviously differ from market to market, but the general idea is that you get more for less. Here in China, for example, this car's price won't even get you into a base version of the similarly sized Volkswagen Taos, sold as the Taru here in China. Either way, that car has none of the features that I just mentioned. That doesn't mean the interior of the Tigo 7 Plus is perfect by any means. Material choice and quality are a little bit behind those of its rivals, both foreign and domestic. Take this carbon fiber, very faux carbon fiber trim here. It's very off-putting in my opinion. I do, however, like the little light-up tiger logo in the shifter knob. Adorable. There's also the small matter of the panel below the screen. This thing has touch buttons that you use to control the air conditioning. They make a noise when you hit them, but the light that indicates whether they're on and off is really hard to see if this is under direct sunlight.
The central screen also isn't the smoothest or easiest to use, and other brands at this price point have more intuitive systems. As a form of basic transportation, however, it's hard to find fault. The passenger compartment is spacious both front and rear, with plenty of storage options. The rear cargo area is also large, with 475 liters of space and the ability to fold down the second row for up to 1,500 liters.
So sheer value is one reason that Chery sells so well abroad. But that could also apply to other Chinese brands as well, like Haval or JAC. Why is it that Chery also outsells them? Do they look better? I don't know. I think the Tiggo 7 Plus is a handsome little trucklet, but I wouldn't say it's breaking the mold when it comes to design. Take, for example, these red accents that you can find throughout the exterior. They look nice, but we've also seen them on other cars before. Maybe the key to their success was timing, namely the fact that they started exporting vehicles some 22 years ago. That's before companies like BYD even started making cars in the first place. That gave them a head start when it came to developing brand recognition, as well as building a dealership network and a supply chain. Now, BYD has since surpassed them here in the domestic market in terms of sales, but they've still got a lot of catching up to do abroad. As for what the future holds for the Chery brand, its current focus on ICE vehicles means it's unlikely to be breaking into markets like Europe, alongside brands like BYD and NIO. However, that focus should allow it to continue to sell well in markets where EV penetration is much lower, maybe well enough for them to hold on to their crown as China's most popular brand abroad for just a little bit longer. Okay, thank you very much for watching today's video. Be sure to check us out on our social media as well as our website, links in the description below.